In standing, I would normally say that we would start with the feet at hip width, but today we're just going to start with the feet together. So there is an element of balance with this first movement. So if you would prefer to step off your mat and onto a hard surface, that's absolutely fine. Or maybe be close to a wall or a chair, maybe, if you think you might need to. So try and bring the inner borders of the feet together. If you feel very unstable already, step out slightly if you prefer. So spread the feet and the toes into the floor, so you're feeling a connection down through the feet and into the floor. And just finding your neutral spine, so tucking the tail under and stacking the spine over the pelvis, lengthening out through the top of the head, just relaxing through the shoulders, focusing on a spot in front of you, and just take a couple of deep breaths first of all, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just feel the breath is coming into the rib cage. As you exhale, gently drawing in, deepening that centering now to help you in a moment with balance. And on the next breath out, let's see if we can take the right foot off the floor, lifting into a knee fold and holding the balance. Inhale and exhale as we take the foot back down. Same on the other side, drawing in. On the out breath, taking the foot off the floor. Hold it there as you inhale. Exhale as we take it down. Let's go for 4 more in your own time. Think about deepening that centering as you start to take the foot off the floor. And the higher you bring that knee, the more work into the hip. And if it is a little bit too challenging, feel free to just lift the heel and hover the toes if you can. Keep it small. So we're just starting to warm up into the hips. Last one when you're ready. And just balance out. Return the foot to the floor. From here we're going to step the feet out now back into hip width and parallel, and I'm just going to turn side on so you can see me. You're going to come into some squats now. So feet about hip width and parallel. Again, we're working into hips but also knees and ankles as well, so we're going to really warm up the legs. Try and maintain your neutral spine again, so try and avoid rounding the spine as you come into your squat. So on an inhale, coming down into the squat, and as you exhale, press up, squeeze the glutes as you come into standing. And again, inhale as we come down, and exhale, push up to stand, squeeze the glutes. Inhale to come down, and exhale to press to stand. Good, keep it going for 10. Inhale down, exhale, pushing up, good. Make sure knees are going over the toes, they're not collapsing in. Keeping equal weight through the feet, heels down, and just go as far as you feel comfortable. And with your last one, we're going to hold the squat here. We're going to work into the hamstrings in a moment. If it gets too much, just bring yourself down onto the floor. But if you can now, you're going to deepen into that squat. Lower yourself down as far as you feel you can. Loading into the legs, keep those heels down. Hands onto the floor. So you're in a crouched position here. Take a breath. And as you breathe out, we're going to stretch out through the back of the legs into the hamstrings. Inhale as you soften the knees. Exhale again as we stretch through the back of the legs. Inhale again as you soften, and exhale as we stretch. One more time if you can. Inhale, soften the knees. Exhale as you stretch out. And again, just soften the knees, and then from here, you can walk those hands out, knees down, and come into all fours. And do a little rearranging if you need to, and I'll flip my camera around to join you. Around we go. So we're into all fours now. Ooh. There we go. And if you want to, feel free to roll up the end of your mat or use a towel maybe for a little bit of extra padding underneath the wrists and maybe underneath the knees if you feel you need it. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And let's just take a moment to find our neutral spine again. So we want to avoid pressing up and rounding into the shoulders or dropping down and sinking the rib cage to the floor. So feel that you are connecting the shoulders on the back, drawing them down, feeling length in the back of your neck and out through the crown of the head. Feel that you're drawing the rib cage into the back of the body and you're engaging the abdominals to help support the spine. So again, coming into some rocking now for hips again. We're going to take a breath. And as you breathe out, gently rock back, only going as far as you can maintain neutral. So as soon as you start to feel that you want to tuck your tail around the spine, that's your limit. Inhale as you come forward again over the hands. Exhale again as we rock, maintain neutral. Inhale, rock forward. And exhale as we rock back. And we're going to go for 3 more. So everyone's going to be slightly different. If you are a little bit tight in the hips, you might not be able to go back too far until you start to feel that you want to tuck your tail under. So just be mindful, try and maintain neutral, drawing in those abdominals to help. And finish your last one. And drawing it forward when you're ready, over hands and knees, and coming into cat stretch here. So on and out breath, we're going to tuck the tail down between the legs. Continue to curl through the spine, tucking the head down last into our nice long C curve. And hold it here. Inhale. And exhale as you unravel from the tail first. Ripple through the spine, bringing the head through and coming into extension so you can slightly hang in the mid-back. And again, hold it here. Inhale. Exhale again, tucking the tail first. Curling it through. Tucking the head again into cat. Inhale. And exhale, unravel from the tail. Ripple through, bringing the head into extension. And again, inhale. Exhale, starting from the tail. So think tail first, head last. And we're mobilizing and releasing the spine, but a little bit of work in the hips as well. Last one. Finishing on an extension when you're ready. And then just bringing the spine back to neutral. So connect the shoulders, eye line down. Take a breath. And as you breathe out, just send it all the way back to the heels into rest position. Open out the knees if you need to. Bring it down, reaching out through the hands. Lowering the forehead towards the floor. And just take a moment for a couple of nice deep breaths. It might be that you need to prop yourself up, maybe with blocks underneath the head or pillows behind the back of the knees, just so you can hold this position for a moment. And with your next breath out, let's start to tuck the tail again and stack from the base of the spine, rolling ourselves up slowly, stacking, drawing the shoulders back, opening the chest and the eyes forward, just briefly into kneeling, and we're going to come round onto our side. So just take a moment and roll to face me, face your camera, wherever you need to be. And if you do feel that you need a little bit of extra padding underneath you, under your hip, feel free to either roll the mat or use a small pillow or folded towel and pop it underneath you, under the hip, if needed. We're going to come into a hip series now. And we're going to start off stacking the legs into our chair position. So draw the knees up towards you and find a right angle at the knees. So maybe just line your shins up with the front edge of the mat and your body up with the back edge of the mat, if that helps, like you're sitting on a chair. You might want to have a pillow or again a folded towel in between your head and your arm. It can just help lift you out of that shoulder slightly and bring head, neck and spine in line. So take a moment to think about neutral spine. So we want to lengthen away through this top hip. So try and avoid the temptation to hitch the hip towards you and sink the waist into the floor. Try and pull that top hip away, creating length and a little bit of lift in this underside. So you bring the spine into neutral and you're drawing in through the center to give you stability. And we're going to start off with a lift and lower. We're going for sets of 10 if you can. So first off, lengthen this top leg away in line with the body, nice and long. Avoid pitching that hip, keep it long. We're going to flex the foot, so almost like you're standing down into that leg, pushing through the heel. Inhale to prepare and exhale as you lift the leg a little bit higher than the hip, but avoid the waist sinking into the floor. Inhale as we return in line with the body and exhale again as we lift. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Good, keep it going for 10. So an indication you're going too high is if the waist is pressing into the floor, you're losing neutral. So watch that you're not lifting too far and watch that you're not just lifting the hip towards you. Keep it nice and long. And we're coming in line with the body. Try and avoid crossing the midline and lowering too close to the floor. Good, so going for 10. And I will lose count, I know I will. So when you're ready, bring the leg back in line with the body and then just fold back in for a second when you're ready. Little breather, so you might be feeling warm already. This time we're going to work into hip extensors and flexors, coming into a forward and back movement. You're going to need a lot of stability through the pelvis, so really think about deepening your centering here. Again, you're going to lengthen that top leg away, but now you're reaching out through the toes. So reaching out, point the toes away from you, again, nice and long. And we're going to inhale as we draw the leg back slightly, and then exhale to bring the leg forward. And avoid compromising the pelvis, avoid going too far forward. So inhale as we draw the leg back. Exhale as we bring the leg forward. Inhale to draw back. And exhale to come forward. And we're going for 10. So avoid just swinging the leg, moving with control. Deepen that centering. Avoid flattening the waist again. Try and maintain neutral. Try and anchor this bottom leg down as well. And again, finish your number 10 when you are ready. You can bring the leg back in line with the body and fold back in again when you're ready. Little breather, well done, might be feeling warm in there. So we're going to work into the hip rotators now and come into oysters. So we're going to tuck the feet back now, roughly in line with your pelvis, or line yourself up with the back edge of the mat. Again, in neutral, lifting the waist out of the floor. Nice and stable again through the pelvis. Inhale to prepare and exhale as we open the top leg. Inhale to close. And exhale to open. Keep it going for 10. So nice and stable, it's coming from your hip. So maybe try and imagine spiraling the thigh bone in the hip joint to find that movement. Try and avoid disturbing the pelvis and making it too big that you feel you're rolling back. And again, take it to 10. When you're ready, close it down again and have a little breather when you're ready. I may have done more than 10 there. So close it down. So this is where we're going to use the blocks or pillows. So just take a moment to grab all your blocks or your pillows. Whoop. And we're going to come into what's known as an adductor lift. So I'm just going to talk this one through if those of you, some of you weren't in Monday's class. So what we're doing is lengthening the bottom leg out and drawing the top leg in towards you. And the reason we need the blocks is to place them underneath the knee, because if I don't use blocks, I will just roll forward, lose neutral, lose my neutral pelvis and just roll into the floor. So we want to have the blocks or pillows, whatever you've got, underneath the knee. That's a little bit high for me, so I might take that away. So underneath the knee to try and stack the hips and keep your neutral pelvis. So everyone's going to be different because it's about the width of your hips. You might need more than 2 pillows. You might need more than 2 blocks. So whatever works for you, okay? Play around with it if you need. So that top leg is just drawn towards you, blocks underneath, and lengthen your bottom leg away from you. And we're going to flex that foot. Again, feel that you're almost standing down into the leg, pushing through the heel. Just take a moment to reset, finding neutral. Again, try and lift out of the floor here, which is slightly more challenging in this position. And we're going to take a breath. And as you breathe out, we're going to lift that bottom leg and inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Keep it going for 10. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Good, well done. And it can feel a little bit odd because we don't often do this movement every day. You're working the inside of the leg, the adductor muscles. And keep trying to flex the foot, push through the heel. A little bit more challenging to maintain neutral here. So watch that you're not forcing the leg up too high. And again, finishing your 10 when you're ready. Lower the leg down. Have a little breather. You can move your blocks out of the way when you're ready. And we're going to roll it round onto our back. So just take a moment, roll it round. And coming into our relaxation position, taking a moment again to find neutral spine and neutral pelvis. So tuck the feet in towards you. Feet and knees about hip width apart and in parallel. Spread the feet into the floor and really feel a connection through the feet and down into the mat. Finding the natural curves of your spine, relaxing arms and shoulders, drawing down through the back of the rib cage and just finding neutral, gently drawing in through the center, engaging the abdominals to support you. And we're going to come into some stability work now, coming into knee drops. If it does help, feel free to place your hands just on top of your hips so you can feel what's happening. And you should feel at the moment that your hips are level and you have a neutral pelvis. We're now going to try and open the right hip. So let's take a breath. And as you breathe out, drop the right knee out to the side. So opening up the hip, but not going too far that you disturb the pelvis. Inhale as you draw the leg back in. And now exhale as you drop the left knee out to the side, opening up in the hip. And inhale as we draw it back in. And again, exhale to open. And inhale to draw the knee back in. So try and keep your supporting leg nice and stable. Plant the foot into the floor. Let's go for 4 more. Try and maintain neutral. Keep the rib cage down. It does take quite a lot of concentration, this one. And you might notice that there's a little bit of a difference maybe on one side. You might have more range on one side. So don't feel that they have to necessarily be equal as you open. Using that centering to support you. Balancing out. Come back to the center. Bringing the arms now to rest down by your side. Relax the shoulders. And we're going to come into single knee folds here first of all, just to again work into the hips. So let's inhale and exhale as we float the right leg into knee fold. Try and avoid disturbing the spine again. Inhale, exhale as we take it down. And same on the left. Inhale and exhale as you float the leg into knee folds. Avoid tilting the pelvis. Inhale, exhale, take it down. Let's go for 4 more. So just a little bit of centering here with the single leg. Just enough that you can maintain neutral. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And if you do feel tension in your shoulders, maybe just take the arms out slightly wider. Press the hands and the back of the arms down into the floor. And from here, if you're happy to progress, we're going to take it into double knee fold. So again, right leg up first when you're ready. Hold it there. And inhale, exhale, bring the left leg up to join it if you would like to, into double knee fold. A little bit more centering needed. Inhale to hold. Exhale as we take the right foot down first and then the left. And now starting on the left. On the exhale, lifting into single knee folds. On the exhale, bringing the second leg to join it. And inhale, exhale, taking the left leg down first, and then the right. And again, going for 4 more, alternating your starting leg, or stay at singles if you prefer. And maybe just feel what the difference is now. Now that you're coming into double knee fold, you should be using a little bit more centering, because you're adding more load as you lift both legs. So just make sure that you're not imprinting the lower back into the floor. Using the exhale to lift. And just balance yourself out. And then placing the feet back down when you're ready. Feel free to repeat the double knee fold if you prefer. Or this time, just to challenge the abdominals a little bit more, we're going to come into toe taps. So when you're ready again, just take those legs into double knee fold and hold it there. Relax the shoulders and really watch that you don't arch the spine and lift the rib cage with this one. Let's inhale to prepare. Exhale as you hinge the right hip, tap the toe to the floor if you can. Inhale as you draw the leg back up. Exhale, hinge the left hip and tap the toe. Inhale to draw the leg back up. And exhale on the right. Keep it going for 10 this time if you can. If it gets too much, go back to working through knee folds. And you don't have to touch the floor. If you feel as though you're lifting the rib cage, I keep it small. Try and relax those shoulders. And again, just balance out on each side. When you're ready, let's bring the feet back to the floor one at a time. Returning the feet hip width and parallel. And we're now going to think about stretching out into the hamstrings again a little bit. So we did slight stretch earlier on, but now we're going to do a little bit more. There'll be a lower option here. Feel free to stay there if you need to. So first off, again, just take the right leg into knee folds. And you're going to bring the hands around the back of the leg. If it feels easier and you have a band or maybe a scarf, something similar, then feel free to use a band around the back of the leg and hold on to it that way instead, if that feels easier. So holding onto the back of the leg, just watch that you're not disturbing neutral spine here. We're going to take a breath, and as you breathe out, we're going to extend the leg up, so you stretch out through the back of the leg. And if you need to, allow the leg to drop away slightly so you can find neutral. Inhale as you fold it back to knee fold. Exhale again as we stretch. Inhale, drop the foot. Exhale again as we stretch. One more time. Inhale to drop the foot. And exhale to stretch. Drop the foot and then bring it down to the floor when you're ready. Same on the other side, bringing the leg into knee fold, hands around the leg or use a band again. Inhale and exhale as we stretch out, feel it in the back of the leg, find neutral. Inhale, fold it back. Exhale again as we stretch. Inhale, drop the foot. Exhale as you stretch, and one more time. And again, return the foot to the floor when you're ready. So that's your lower option. Feel free to stay there, keep the upper body down, 4 on the right, 4 on the left. Or this time, challenging the abdominals as well, we're going to add a curl up into the movement and come into what's known as climb a tree. So, right leg again, into knee fold. This time you're going to send the left leg away along the floor, anchor the leg down to give you some stability. Hands around the back of the leg, extending up again, stretching into the back of the leg. And now we're going to come into curl up if you want to. So inhale, exhale as you nod the head, chin to chest, curl yourself up towards the leg, and you might already feel an increase in that stretch. You could just hold it, or we're going to come up the leg. Inhale, exhale as we start to walk the hands up the leg towards the ankle. Inhale as you walk it down, but keep head and shoulders off the floor. Exhale as you come back up, walking towards the ankle as far as you can. Inhale as you walk it down. 2 more. Exhale as we walk up. And inhale as we walk down. 1 more time. Inhale, bring it down, keeping the leg here, but take the upper body down to the floor. Arms coming out, a little bit wider now for stability. We're going to transition into leg circles. So we're going to take the leg out to the side, sweep the leg down and circle round. And again, out to the side, sweep the leg down, circle round. 2 more in this direction. Breathe in to start the circle, breathe out to finish. Allow for a little bit of movement in the pelvis. Change direction for another 4. But we're just wanting to keep control. A little bit of movement. And working into that hip again. And finish your last one. Bring the leg back to the center. Drop the foot. And let's bring it down to the floor. Slide the left leg back in. I'm going to do it all again on the other side. So, left leg into knee fold. Slide the right leg away this time. Anchor that leg down. Again, hands around the back of the leg as you stretch up. And coming into our curl up again on an exhale. Nod the head. Curl yourself up, drawing it in towards the leg. Hold it there as you inhale. Exhale again as we walk up towards the ankle. Inhale as we walk it down. Exhale as we walk up. Inhale as we bring it down. Exhale as we walk up. We've got 1 more. Walk it down. And coming up. And again, bringing it down. Keep the leg there as you lower the upper body to the floor. Arms coming out again for stability. And those leg circles again. Out to the side. Sweep it down and circle the leg round. 4 in each direction. Inhale to start the circle. Exhale to finish. Allow for some movement through the pelvis. And don't worry too much about neutral spine now, but we want stability and control. So that little bit of centering. Don't make it too big. Finish your last one. Back to the center. Drop the foot. Down to the floor. Oh, and let's just hug those knees in, shall we? I think after those. Have a little stretch off. Well done. Have a little rock and a roll maybe, forward and back. And side to side. Just to release off a little bit. Well done. And let's bring the feet back down to the floor. And I'm going to set up the hip rolls now. A nice little release after the work you've just done. We're going to bring the feet and the knees together. So connect the inner thighs, give them a little bit of a squeeze. Take the arms out, lower down at the shoulders, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Try and keep the rib cage down. So what you want to avoid is arching the spine as you roll and taking the spine into extension. So we just want rotation. So keep the rib cage down. Let's take a breath to prepare. And as we breathe out, rolling hips and knees over to the right. So lift the left side of your pelvis to help initiate the roll. Keep the ribs down and the shoulders down. And then inhale as we return back to the center. And exhale as we come over to the opposite side. Legs together, feet stacked, shoulders down. Inhale back to the center. And exhale again as we roll. With control, working a little bit through the waist as well here. Using that centering. Keep the integrity of the pelvis. Lifting one side to help start the roll. So feel free to keep the feet on the floor. We're just going to do another set of 4. But if you would like a progression, feel free to take the legs into double knee fold for the last 4. Legs together in the same movement. Exhale as you roll, legs together. So don't drop too far, shoulders down. Inhale, roll it back to the center. Exhale as you take it to the opposite side. So just slightly more challenging with the feet off the floor. Keep them down if you'd prefer. And again, keep the rib cage down. Avoid arching the spine and coming into extension. And just balance yourself out. Bring it back to the center. When you are ready, feet to the floor one at a time. Let's just have a nice big full body stretch, shall we? And just stretch it off, reach out over the head, out through the feet. Take a nice deep breath. Floating the arms down and tucking the feet back in. And we're going to transition onto our side. So let's just have a little roll over. Push yourself up from the floor. And we're just going to have to do a little flip round to come onto the other side. Make sure you've got your blocks to hand for in a moment. And we're going to work on that hip series again. So obviously you have done a lot of work in the hips already, so you might be feeling it. So just again, work where you can. Starting off, stacking the legs into that chair position again. Find that right angle with the knees. Again, use a pillow, towel, either underneath the hip or in between head and arm, or both if you want to. Find that neutral spine again, so lengthening down, pull that top hip away, lifting the underside out of the floor and drawing in through the center. So starting with lift and lower, let's lengthen that top leg away again, avoid lifting the hip towards you, lengthen away, flex the foot, pushing through the heel, inhale to prepare and exhale as we lift. Inhale, lower, back in line with the body. And exhale as you lift. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Keep it going for 10. So again, just avoid flattening the waist into the floor. Keep it nice and long. Avoid hitching the hip towards you. Keep it long. And keep pushing through the heel like you're standing into the leg. Lovely, well done. You might be feeling tired, but we'll power through. Keep it going to 10 if you can on this side. Again, when you're ready, just finish your last one. Back in line with the body and fold in for a little breather. And then we're going to come into our forward and back now, deepening that centering to help with stability. Lengthen away again, but now reaching out through the toes, nice and long again. Inhale as you draw the leg back slightly, and exhale as we bring the leg forward, nice and stable. Inhale as we draw it back. Exhale again as we come forward. Inhale, draw the leg back. And exhale as we come forward, going for 10 again if you can. So try and avoid just swinging the leg and allowing the pelvis to join in. It's all coming from the hip again. And if you are feeling tired, just go steady that you're not lowering the leg to the floor. Try and keep it in line with the body at hip height. If you're getting tired, it might be lowering. And try and keep your waist out of the floor. And finish your last one when you're ready. Again, back in line with the body. And fold that leg back in when you're ready. Woo, feeling nice and warm again in that hip. So let's come into oyster again. Tuck the feet back now in line with the pelvis. Working into those rotators again. Let's inhale to prepare. Exhale as you open that top leg. Inhale to close. Exhale to open. Powering through to 10 again if you can. Keeping stable. Again, try and keep neutral and avoid flattening the waist. Again, if it helps, imagine spiraling that thigh bone in the hip. Finding that nice movement. And finish your last one again when you're ready. Woo. Lower it down, well done. Coming into our adductor lift now. So grabbing pillows or blocks, whatever you've got. We're going to lengthen that bottom leg out. Fold the top knee in towards you into chair position again. And rest onto those blocks in front of you. So as many as you need again, just to make sure you're nice and stacked through hips, neutral pelvis. You're not rolling in towards the floor. Lengthening that bottom leg in line with the body. Flexing the foot again, pushing through the heel. Try and keep neutral if you can, a little bit more challenging. Inhale, exhale as you lift. Inhale to lower, and exhale to lift. Going for 10 again if you can. What I should have said a little bit earlier is don't compare to the opposite side. Might feel different on this side now. Keep trying to push through that heel, flex the foot. Try and keep the waist out of the floor if you can, so don't force the leg up too high. Well done. Finish number 10 again when you're ready. I may have done more than 10 there. Lower it down when you're ready. Oh, well done. Those hips are probably feeling it. Let's move those blocks out the way. And we're going to roll it round onto our front now. So just take a moment to do a little bit of a rollover onto your front. And we're going to give the hips a bit of a breather now. And we're going to work into the spine a little bit to come into some extension. So setting up for cobras, hands just outside of the mat in that wide W shape. Hands roughly in line with your ears. Connect the shoulders, draw them down the back. Lengthen out the legs behind you, about hip width and parallel. Feel the weight on the front of your pelvis and think about sending the weight towards your pubic bone, scooping the tummy in, supporting the lower back. So starting with Cobra Prep, let's take a breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, just brush the nose along the floor. Lengthen out through the crown of the head and feel that you're shining the breastbone forward, bringing the chest out of the floor and just coming to the bottom of the rib cage. Inhale to hold. Exhale as we take it back down. Tuck the nose back underneath you, returning to neutral. And 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, brush the nose, lengthening out, shine the breastbone forward. Inhale, exhale as you take it down. 2 more. So try and avoid pressing through your hands and using your arms. And if you're feeling it across the lower back, you need to engage those abdominals a little bit more. And maybe you might be taking it a little bit too far. So try and avoid pushing yourself up. And finish your last one. And if you'd like to, we're just going to progress it to the full cobra if you'd like. So legs can come out a little bit wider and roll the heels in towards each other. Starting with prep again first. Inhale. Exhale, brush the nose, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Shine the breastbone forward. And now continue, if you can, to come out of the floor. Scooping the tummy in. And feel that you're trying to bring the front of the hips and the pelvis off the mat. So a little bit of a lift. Inhale. Exhale as we control it down. Soften the elbows first. Coming down through the front of the body. Bringing the head down last and tucking the nose back underneath. And let's go for 3 more again. Inhale. Exhale, lengthening out. Bring the front of the body out of the floor. Scoop the tummy in. Lift the hips. Inhale at the top. Exhale as you work it down. Elbows, rib cage, chest, and head last. So if you need to stay at prep, just come halfway. You don't have to come all the way up. If you're feeling it across the lower back, again, you need to find that lift. Use those abdominals to support you as you come out of the floor. Finish your last one. All the way down. Head to the floor, tuck the nose back underneath you. And then when you're ready, just bring the legs back in, roughly hip width. Bring the hands in underneath your shoulders. And let's take a moment to push ourselves up from the floor, send it back into rest position. So sitting back on the heels again, open out the knees if you need to. Use blocks or pillows as well to prop yourself up if needed. And let's just take a moment again here for some nice deep breaths. Breathing wide and full into the back of the rib cage. And again, with the next breath out, tucking the tail and slowly stacking through the spine, rolling ourselves up into kneeling again. And we're going to come into sitting now for our last little movement in the hips. So bring the legs, the feet in front of you. And this is known as zigzags. Really nice for some range in the hips here to polish them off. So you're going to prop yourself up on the hands. So hands can come back slightly behind you, fingers out to the sides. Just try and avoid dumping down into those shoulders. So feel that you're connecting the shoulders on the back, lifting out, lengthening the spine. You're just on the back of the sitting bones. And we're going to take the toes off the floor. So you're resting on your heels here. And we're going to open out the hips. So hold it here, take a breath. And as you breathe out, if you can on your floor, slide the legs away from you. And now roll the feet in towards each other. So you turn the hips in. And inhale as you slide back in towards you. Roll out. Exhale as you slide away. Roll in. Inhale as you slide in. And roll out. Exhale as you slide away. Good. Rolling in. And slide back in and just hold it here. And we're going to reverse. So now we're going to slide away. And then roll out. And slide back in. Roll in. And slide away. Roll out. And slide back in. One more time. Roll in. And slide away. roll out, and slide back in. I'm just going to do it one more time just to get those legs out and away from us now. And bring those legs parallel and sit yourself up onto the sitting bones now. If it feels easier, bring the legs slightly closer together. We're going to come into a little bit of a stretch now. So up on those sitting bones, lengthen through the spine. Let's bring the right leg over the left leg. Hug in with your left hand in towards the chest. Twist round to the right, hand to the floor. Just press through the hands. You lift and lengthen up through the spine. We're going to hold it here. Keep hugging the leg towards you. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then release. And you can lower the leg down and we'll switch over. Left leg coming over the right leg. Hugging in towards you with your right hand. Twist to the left. Hand down to the floor. Press, lift and lengthen through the spine. And hold it there. Couple of deep breaths. And again, release when you're ready, back to the center. Slide that leg away. Last little stretch for the spine now, a little bit for the legs as well. So just flex the feet as you stretch up through the back of the legs. You're going to take the arms out in front of us to shoulder height. And I want you to try and feel a sense of lift and reaching over the legs. So we're going to take a breath. And as you breathe out, feel a sense of lifting yourself and reaching up and over the legs. Arms are parallel to the floor. Drop the head down in between your arms. Scoop the tummy in and hold it here. Take a breath. And as you breathe out, stack through the spine and just connect the shoulders on the back. Again, inhale and exhale, lifting, reaching up and over, rounding the spine. Inhale, exhale as you restack, connecting those shoulders as you lengthen up. And again, inhale, exhale, up and over. Inhale, exhale, restack again, connect those shoulders on the back. And last one. Connecting those shoulders. And now just allowing the arms to come down. Relax the legs a little bit there. And just take a final deep breath. And out. And well done. We are finished.